Welcome, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my cozy little space. And today we're gonna get into some drama with mother-in-law. Come on, we all love mother-in-law stories.
What do y'all typically do when we postpartum? You spend time with the baby, spend time with family, sleep, eat,
Survive.
relax. You wanna know what I was doing one week postpartum? I was in a full-blown debate with my mother-in-law over my daughter's middle name.
Am I surprised?
Let me just give you guys a quick backstory. So my husband is Indian and my mother-in-law is very traditional Indian, old school mentality. And I love her, but we do bump heads quite a bit because culturally we do not see eye to eye.
Oh.
And one of the big things in their family is all of the children get the father's first name as their middle name.
Okay.
And this was something that my husband and I both agreed on that we weren't going to do. Our first child's middle name is my baby sister that had passed away. My second child, his middle name is in fact my husband's first name because that was his first boy and that was important to him.
Fair enough.
Now for our third, we didn't.
So he did get one middle name in there regardless. So, and then the second baby had a different name. That's fair.
We decided, regardless if it was male or female, that it was not going to have his name because I'm very much about consistency, and I didn't think it was fair that two of my kids would have the same middle name and not the third.
Yeah,
and I also,
fair
in
enough.
case it was a girl, because we didn't know her gender at the time, in case it was a girl, I didn't want her to have a traditional male name as her middle name. It just wasn't something I wanted. But anyway, we brought the baby home from the hospital. Her middle name is Ava. My mother-in-law has not stopped throwing a fit since we got home. She keeps saying that it goes against tradition, that our child's going to be confused growing up, that if she passes her...
Honey, okay, mother-in-law, goes against your tradition, not against their tradition. They're the couple. They're bringing their own tradition in. So you already got one middle name in there, so you should say thank you. Like...
her home in India onto my husband and he passes it on to the kids. The only one that will get the house is my son because he's the only one that's middle name is my husband's name.
Keep your house.
Think that the rest are from a different family. And she keeps talking in a very negative light, saying that everybody's going to think that all three of my kids have different dads. Mind you, my first daughter's middle name is Grace, and this one is Ava. So I'm not trying to be funny, but if I hear Grace, Ava, and my husband's first name, I'm not thinking that there's three different dads.
What the hell?
And regardless, even if there is three different dads, I grew up in a family where me, my brother, and sister all have different dads. So the fact that she's talking in a negative, derogatory manner kind of insults me. And she's not understanding that. She just keeps saying that it's going to affect our kids in the future, that they're going to feel left out, that they're not going to understand why we didn't do traditional things. And the thing that we keep talking about in my house.
But wait. Just backtrack. But then they don't live in India, do they? Like she didn't say. I think they live like in America. So how would the children know or be confused? Unless they live and been brought up in India, how would they even know like about the middle name and stuff? Like how would anyone be confused?
Is how my daughter, who's now 4.5, is very self-aware. She picks up on things. She's like a sponge. And they keep having this conversation right in front of her. She's not going to think anything of her middle name. But if you keep having this conversation in front of her, she is going to think something of it. And it's very frustrating because I'm 1 week postpartum. Like, I don't want to think about these things. I just want to spend time with my baby.
You don't need the stress.
But, yeah. So tell me how did it go for you guys 1 week postpartum?
My husband dated.
God, yeah, that's just that old, you know. That old little chestnut with a mother-in-law and names. Like, why do other people think they have a right to tell other people what to name the children or to even what middle name they use? Like, this was your generation. Like, this is a new... I feel like when a couple comes together, there's a new family. They make their own traditions. It's nice if they do use traditions from their like parents or whatever or grandparents, but like this is a new family unit and they establish the rules, they establish their tradition. So like how can you just like butt in and like, oh, I want this name? Like, hon, you didn't give birth to this child. Like, you can suggest if you're like nice enough and like a nice manner. On to the next one.
Someone for like 4 to 5 years. I've never met her. You always think like, oh no, I can't stand your exes, whatever. But it's just a thing that everybody does. But I've never met her. So she could be really cool, sweet, whatever. But obviously she was around for like 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
Really close to the family.
They quite a while.
Post pictures of her on her birthday on Facebook and say happy birthday. They never did that for me.
So your boyfriend's parents still post pictures of his ex on their Facebook on her birthday, even though they're not together anymore. Girl, I think they had a favorite, and that ain't you.
But, you know, good for you. So my sister-in-law, she was pregnant, she was having a baby shower, and she was very close to that ex-girlfriend. Like, they were best friends for all that time. And she invited her. And I was already like, about going anyway, because I wasn't super close with my sister-in-law. My husband had 6 siblings, so it's not like
Ooh,
I
big
was super
family.
close with all of them. So I was already like, And then I found out that the ex was coming, and I was like,
No
okay,
way.
this is about to be very uncomfortable for me.
Don't go.
I told my husband, I said, this is a very uncomfortable situation for me. I don't want to not go and look petty.
I wouldn't go.
Like, oh, if she's going, then I'm not going. And so he suggested, hey, why don't you just go? You're there for like 20, 30 minutes. Then I'll call you and say, hey, like, I need you, and then we can go on a
Okay,
date
that's
and
like-
make a day
that
of it,
sounds like
whatever,
a
and then you
plan.
don't have to be stuck around everybody. And I was like, that is perfect. Let's do that. And I had initially talked to my mother-in-law too, being like, you understand that this is a very like awkward situation for me. And she was like, oh yeah, like this, it's not going to be a problem, I promise. Like, we're not going to let it be awkward, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Obviously, it's the day of the baby shower. I go, she is there, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-laws are there. It's
Is she pretty?
fine.
Joking.
You know, everything is fine. It's a little awkward, but whatever. I'm trying to just like move past it. My sister-in-law goes to open her presents, so everybody takes a seat. So I think, oh, my mother and sister-in-laws are over there. I will sit by them, because those are the people that I know. Take a seat. My mother-in-law turns to me and goes, I'm sorry, this seat is for her.
Can you imagine the audacity to just, your mother-in-law does that in front of everyone? You can't sit here. His ex will sit next to me. I'll be turn around and walk away.
Okay. So I didn't have a seat
Oh,
because they saved a seat for my husband's ex-girlfriend, but not for me. So I had to stand and watch. So I call my husband. I'm fuming. I'm like, this is what just happened. I need you to come get me. This is completely ridiculous. He tells me, actually, we're not going to be able to do that today because I am on my way up to my friend's house in the city. So I'm like an hour
tricked
away. And I
you.
also have the only house keys, so you're kind of stuck there. You can't go home.
A walk.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Walk.
So I'm stuck at this baby
Away
shower.
from that.
Can't even go home afterwards because my husband took the only house key and he lost the other one, so that's why we only have
Yeah,
one.
hell
And then later
no.
on, he's like, "Why are you so mad at me? Like, I was going to my friend's house." And I was like, "Do you not remember that you're supposed to save me?"
So we had a plan where you're gonna save me from your ex, come and pick me up in the first place where I did not want to attend, and then you flake, and then you ask why she's mad at you.
Me from this very awkward interaction, and he's like, "It's fine. Like, get over it."
I've got another mother-in-law from hell story, and I think this one actually tops the last one.
Give it to
So I've
us,
just
girl.
seen a
Give it.
client.
Give it.
And she has just told me possibly the most horrendous story about her friend's mother-in-law. That I would probably be on some sort of charge if this happened to me. So, her friend, she met somebody. They got on like a house on fire. Everything was just going absolutely amazing. Her friend met his parents. Now, instantly, she said the mother-in-law didn't like her. You could just tell.
Is this like a universal thing? Like, is this just like, you know, there's your badge of mother-in-law, there's your cue to be mean, and you have to dislike his new girlfriend or whoever comes along. You have to make them feel awkward. You have to make sure that you let them know that you're the mommy and you're the main character. What is it? Like, what? Like, why?
Could feel it, could feel the energy. She didn't even try to hide the fact that she didn't like her. She was very upfront about it.
Standard.
I'll give her a due. I like people that are upfront. But I don't like people that just don't like people for no reason. You're going to have a reason, otherwise you're just negative. So, they've now been together for about 3 years.
Okay, so
Now, on a random day, my friend's friend, let's call her Lucy, my friend's friend Lucy, has got a text message from a random number, and it says, let's call him James. James is cheating on you. She's now beside herself. Because you know what we're like, us women. Even though you trust and love your partner, someone's only got to say that once, your head's gone. Like, it's just gone. That's just it's in
but
our...
it's always, I feel like it's always a teller if it's anonymous number. Like, girls will never keep quiet, okay? Like, guys cheat. That's why, actually, the statistics, actually, man and woman cheat about an equal amount of time, the same amount, near enough. So I think there was like a survey, and I think men cheat like 51% and like women 49%. So literally it's nearly the same. The only difference, men get fined out hella more than women do. So women hide it better. And I'll tell you what, because women will always speak and want to be spiteful. So if they're cheating with someone's husband, with someone's partner, they will say, they want to make it known, okay? So when it comes from anonymous number, I'm like, why? Like, usually, like, girls are like, oh, by the way, I'm sleeping with your partner, or like they'll DM, or like they'll let you know in some kind of way, but like, why? It's not usually anonymous. Like, they want you to know.
Nature. So, these text messages continued. The person, whoever it was sending these text messages from a random number, was hounding Lucy.
Block the number.
I mean,
block it.
These text messages were constant. They would tell her, James has been here, James has been there, James has been to this hotel, James is out
so there's
tonight
actual
with
places.
this person. Now, the times seemed to tally up. So if James was ever having a night out with friends, this person would text and say, I'm seeing James tonight.
Okay.
We're going here. He's taking me here. We've been having an affair for this amount of time, blah, blah, blah. And she said it was driving her mentally insane because it was always when James had something to do.
Oh,
when he was going out.
obviously,
When he wasn't
like,
gonna be with
you
her.
have to
They
check
knew.
it out.
So she was like, how do they know? She didn't want to tell James because she didn't want to offend him. So she said she needed
some
more proof.
digging.
She needed to gather her own evidence and then go from there. Now, these messages, they used to always come through constantly, but she noticed the only time she didn't used to get a message was when James's mum was around or if they was over at their house. She started to get a little bit suspicious. So she
No way.
conjured up this little plan. She was quite close to James's sister. So she said to James's sister, let's do something nice for your mum's birthday. We'll all come over, we'll surprise her. They turned up to James's parents' house out of the blue. His mum didn't know. They turned up with balloons, cakes, cards,
Was she happy?
food. They were going to have a little party. James's mum was none the wiser. She didn't have a clue. They were all sitting down to do the cake. Lucy has decided to go and have a little look around the house whilst everyone is downstairs. So she was
What
searching.
for?
She didn't know what it was she was looking for. She went, ideally, I was looking for maybe a phone because I feel like it's her. Anyway, she couldn't find anything. She's gone back downstairs.
Couldn't you just like check your mom's phone? Like, she could have just put like block, like hid a number and then still send a message from her phone. So couldn't you just like sneak her phone away and like just have a little look?
And she thought, I'm going to call the phone. I'm going to call the number.
Yeah, but it's anonymous.
That's been texting me all this time.
Can you still call if it's anonymous?
It started ringing in James's mum's handbag.
I thought you couldn't call if it's anonymous. Am I
Because
wrong?
James's
Let me know in
mum
the
was
comments. Can you call
I'm
anonymous
listening.
number back? How?
Crazy. She tried so hard to split them up. The things that she texts Lucy, I wouldn't want to repeat. They were absolutely vile. Not only did she say that James was cheating on her, she also absolutely picked Lucy's appearance apart. She told her she was a vile person. The things she said were just absolutely unforgivable. Now, while she was at the party, She brought it to everyone's attention what had happened. She showed James the text.
Oh, what did James
She showed
say?
James the phone. Well, James witnessed her getting the phone out of his mum's bag. His mum just cried.
Oh, and they all
that day,
do.
Lucy's never spoke to them again. And neither does James. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. How can people be so vile?
Their mother-in-laws realize there's gonna be like someone else coming along. Like, you're never gonna like someone if that's the attitude you have. Like, anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Mwah.